Great Grand Rising. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Today, we are going to continue the topic of closing the belief gap. Let me just come up over here on Facebook and make sure that we are broadcasting on Facebook as well. There we go. Let me put a happy Monday up. There we go. All right, beloveds, take a moment, tag a friend, tag a family member. Let them know Spiritual Success TV is live, continuing on with Early Morning Empowerment. This is probably day number 76. So with that being said, let's go ahead and activate the success mind. Take a good healing deep breath in and exhale. And relax. Turning the focus inward, we breathe. We relax. Crown of the head, sole of the feet, relax. And we're so thankful and grateful that we are here in this sacred space. We see another day. We are in the land of the living, and we are grateful. Deep breath in and exhale. All right, Great Grand Rising, let me know that you were here. I really didn't have any intention, really, of coming on today. I did 75 straight days, but you know my saying, 30 days of new habits, 60 days of new mindset, 90 days of new lifestyle is such a part of what I was doing in the morning until I said, well, I can go on for a few minutes. Hey, Jewel, how you doing? All right. For those of you that did not get to join us on yesterday, please go back and watch yesterday's video. We covered a lot of ground. So let me just talk. I'm going to watch my time up here. I'm going to just talk for about probably 7-10 minutes, something like that. But what I want to really land on today, beloved, I've been saying this, but I want to take my time and say this, that we are in such a huge transition on this planet. It's not just the U.S., it is the whole planet. As you probably understand and see, the world, in our view, has really shrunk. I mean, I'm talking about the world view because we're all connected now. Because of the internet tools, the social platforming, the world has shrunk. So now we can reach people from all over the world instantly. I believe it was probably I know it was in the late 1990s, probably 99 maybe. I went to a workshop, I think it was probably at the Hilton here in the city, and they were doing the introduction to what it means to sell online. And at that time, it was like, like now we just shop online. A lot of people do, right? The vast majority of people do. And so the presenter was saying, imagine, you make hot sauce, and you sell it locally in your shop, but now you can sell it to people instantly all around the world. This is where we've been, right, for the last 25 years or more, where it has brought the world together. So when we speak about things happening, they're happening on a global scale. And there is a lot happening, and we are in this huge transition. Now more than ever, I cannot stress this enough. Now more than ever, you've got to make the decision to master your mindset. To master your mindset, come out of that mindset misery, right? Graduate into mindset management where you're very skilled at it and you land in mastery. The reason why I'm saying that is now is the time. You cannot use your existence, your power, your grace, your gifting, your life force energy, not honoring yourself, not valuing yourself, putting up with things, people, condition, relationships, associations, affiliations that's hurting you or draining the life out of you. So when we talk about wealth, we really talk about relationship wealth. And I just heard a commentator say that they're the richest person in the world because of their relationships. So right now we want to take a moment to just really be grateful and have gratitude for all the relationships. Remember, in High Frequency February, we went through the 5 dimensions of gratitude, and relationship gratitude was one of those dimensions. And I want to land there because it's the way things are moving and shaping up. Your relationships are going to determine your wealth and your well-being. You've heard it said, and I want to stress this, I've seen this play out in my own life, and it's true, that you're going to be as wealthy as the 5 closest people in your life. Whatever their life state is, you're going to be number 6. So if your circle is very small, where you only speak to family members and you don't have any real friends, but you have your children, you have family members, and that's it. You cannot grow, improve, or transition beyond that level that you've locked yourself into. You may be the smartest one in the group. You may be the most fortunate one in the group, the most financially stable in the group, but you're going to lock yourself in on that level where you're all experiencing the same thing. We call that in science a morphogenetic field. Us being here in early morning empowerment is a morphogenetic field. You being connected with me, many things that I know, that I've studied, that I live, you're going to get the benefit of it just because we're connected together. So we cannot in this season spend, I don't want to say spend, but use your life force, spend in, right? Use your life force on people that won't serve your growth and your agendas, right? Because we want to be in mutually beneficial relationships. And when I look back over my life, I don't have anyone in my life that I cannot speak to. Rather, we still talk every day. I've had people in relationships with people that I used to talk to every single day. Sometimes 2-3 hours a day. And that went on for years, 7 years, 14 years. Today, I don't speak to those people anymore. But we didn't fall out. We're not having a bad relationship. We simply just started vibrating on different frequencies, right? People even that I wasn't close to, but I knew, there's no one I cannot walk up and say hello to with a pure heart, because you don't carry grudges. Because really and truly, this is what I want you to hear. There aren't any bad or horrible people. It's just that we allow people in our lives that did not have the capacity, the emotional intelligence, or the capacity to be what we wanted them to be in our lives. So what are we doing? We're taking the responsibility, because we draw and attract the people in our lives, right? Sometimes, and this happens in churches, it happens on jobs. Why do you think there's a probationary period on most serious jobs? Because they want to make sure it's a fit. They want to make sure it's a match. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person because you didn't make it past the probationary period. It means that whatever capacity they were looking for you to fulfill, you were not able to meet that. Or maybe you decided that company was not the company for you. We do that with people. We do that in churches, Many times we'll go to churches and we'll put the leadership in a certain category, mother, father, pastor, leader, all of that. But then you may expect things from them that they're not able to give to you, right? It doesn't make them bad. It's just that they're in a position they don't belong in. For instance, like, okay, my biological father passed away when I was 10 years old. Okay? So I grew up without a quote unquote father. So I had daddy issues, right? Now, I mean, all I can tell you is this. When I got over into the church scene, and y'all remember back in the 80s and the 90s, it was all about my spiritual father, my father, my father, my father. But I remember the day that I got through that. Now, I do have a spiritual father, just one. I did have an apostle, just one, right? But I had to work through all of that. Where I was, and then the church culture did not help, where the male presence was dominant, right? And we were taught to give deference to the male energy. I had to work through all of that. And it was difficult, very difficult to work through. Why was it so difficult? I kept putting people in a place that they didn't have the capacity to be in. Y'all talk back to me, because I know I'm talking right today. We put people in a place where they don't have a capacity to feel what it is we're looking for. So really and truly, it's not their fault. They're being who they are. That's why I said they're not bad people. We don't want to call them bad people because they're being who they are. But when you have an expectation of a spouse or any kind of relationship, and they physically don't have the capacity, the emotional intelligence to feel what you're looking for, the issue is not with them, it's with you, because you want them to do something they cannot do. Even in my own personal relationship, right? I recognize this. I'm going back probably almost 25, 30 years now. The day that I woke up and I recognized what you are looking and asking for, they don't have the capacity to fill that. You need to let them off the hook. Let them off the hook, because they don't have the capacity. And we wear ourselves out, beat ourselves up. A lot of what we even call church hurt, when you look underneath it, there's a responsibility on both sides. Now, I am not saying that the person may not do what they do. You understand what I'm saying? But the bigger part that I want you to look at, because you're in this personal and spiritual development growth journey, you're growing, is that you want to be sober enough to look up and say, I was expecting them to treat me this way. I was expecting them, and we're looking for them to feel something in us that's missing. This is why I used to say, nobody's coming to rescue you. You have to rescue yourself. You have to be the hero, Shiro, in your own life. You have that capacity. That's why our number one spiritual success principle is what? I will take responsibility for my own spiritual success. I will not blame anyone or anything for what appears to be lacking in my life. How did I come up with that? Because I lived that. I'm going to take responsibility for my growth. I'm going to take responsibility for me, for my happiness, for my joy, for my satisfaction, and I'm not going to give that over to anyone else. Now, people can come alongside and they can enhance that, they can elevate that, but I'm not going to put the burden on them to be that for me. Talk back to me, y'all. Talk back to me. So this whole thing about closing the belief gap, I just went totally left, right, and started talking about our expectation in relationships. So what I want you to take away today, beloved, is this. We're not going to put a burden on other people, but we're going to be responsible for upgrading what? Our self-concept, our self-worthiness, our self-value, what we are worth, right? Who we believe we are, what we believe we can. We're going to upgrade. I'm going to keep working on that. I'm staying with that. I just can't let it go. Everything in me is telling me we got to stay here because of everything that is going on, this big transition that we're on globally. That's how it started. Now more than ever, you have to come into mindset mastery and master your mindset, master your emotions, master your energy, and master your expectation of people. And we want to have rich, fulfilling relationships across the board. And our lives are going to get so much better. In the days and weeks to come, if there is no intervention, and I feel that there can be, I feel that very strongly that there can be, but we are in a huge transition and things are never going back to the way they were. We just have to be vigilant and awake enough now to be able to order the new normal. And you can play a part in ordering your new normal. And it doesn't have to be what people are projecting, what people are saying. But when we come into mindset mastery, we can create the life that we want to experience in the midst of chaos, confusion, cruelty, inhumanity. We have work to do, but the work starts with you. It starts with your family. It starts with your community. And let people off the hook, beloved. Do not expect from people what they don't have a capacity to give. That's going to hurt you the most because people are going to continue to be who they are, think the way they think, make the choices that they make, but you have to be responsible for you. Y'all talk back to me. Come on. Yes, we're going to prepare ourselves to go and do what is necessary. And I just feel that there's more that we're going to break open. So we'll pick up tomorrow. All right. Have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of your day. Bye for now, beloved.